Okay, so this is the problem. We're asked a confidence interval with the price of gasoline for 30 gas stations was 4.29 and standard deviation was 0.29. Now, one of the things that I do, I tend to have StatsCrunch in another browser so that I can toggle between StatsCrunch and the actual my stats lab. It allows you to log in into two different browsers, which is advantageous because I haven't figured out a way to smoothly go from between the problem and the processing in StatsCrunch. So what you need to do is to just open another browser here with StatsCrunch. So let's plug the data in. We are gonna be doing go to stats T statistics, and it's certainly a one sample, and we do have the summary, and then it's asking you for the data. The mean is 4.39. And the standard deviation is 0.29. Sample size I think was 30. Let me confirm that. Yes, and they want a 95%. You have to double check. We are not interested in hypothesis testing, so deselect that by selecting confidence interval and ensure that you have the correct value for the level. And then you hit compute and it spits out the answers. So the lower limit is 4.281 and the upper limit is 4.498. What was it again? Let me just remind myself. 4.498, and actually this is gonna be 282 and 498. 282 and 4.498. We go ahead and check our answers and we get very good. Move on to the next part. Now this is where it becomes interesting, and I have a little trick to show you. For the 90% confidence interval, now all they're asking us to do, if we only want to get a range for 90% interval, you go back to your StatsCrunch, and instead of re-entering all the data, because everything remains the same except for one parameter. So if you click on options and edit, then you can go ahead and change this to 90% and then hit compute, and it spits out the edited response, which now goes to 4.300 and 4.4, and that's going to be 4.480. So it's 300 and 480. $4.480. Double check that before we hit enter. Yeah, we transpose properly, then we check answers and we get it's good. The next part, again, we are changing to 60 stations and we want to go to 95%. So if you go back to your window that has My Stats Lab open and click on options and edit, we want to change this to 60 gas stations. So we're increasing our sample size up to 60, and we want to see what the 95% interval gives us, and then click compute. We end up with 4.315 and 4.465. So it's 315 and 465. 315 and 4.465. I think it was, and just to be sure, Let's check our answers. And that's how you work a problem like this using the technology. This is Rohan. Thank you.